Hello everyone, it is I, Nicholas Kibutsuji here. Finally! Now I know what y'all were thinking. I thought you were dead! No, I'm not dead. As you can see, I've still been posting on my comments. Sorry, not comments, my community page. Now, today we honor a year, an absolute long year of waiting. 1 year ago, almost exactly, I created part 5 of one of my most popular videos ever. And you all fell in love and ate that shit up. But then you had to wait a whole damned year. But not anymore. Today, I bring to you part 6 of what if Naruto was turned into a female kitsune. Now, before we begin the video, like normal, first a disclaimer. I do not own the music for my new intro. Yes, I have a new intro. My phone I had to factory reset my phone because I had a cat virus. Yes, I know what you're thinking. What the hell? Yeah. I factory resetted my phone to get rid of said virus. Then I had to then I had to well download everything else I had, get my info back, long grueling process. So I decided, you know what? It's a new year, new day. I'm gonna get a new intro. And so without any further ado, the intro is by Hex Ray. It's the good, the bad, and the dirty chiptune edition. It's a really good song. In the background, however, I was tapping a pencil, so you will hear it tapping. Also, disclaimer, I do not own any rights to any, I do not own any properties or rights to any of the things in this video, such as animes, such as Demon Slayer, Naruto, My Hero Academia, One Piece, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Dragon Ball, and so on and so forth. I do not own any of the art in this video, as all art and properties belong to their original creators. The only thing I own is my voice and the story itself. So, without any further ado, let's begin. Alright, now without any further ado, let's hit it. It has been precisely a whole month since the destruction of, since the deaths of Anaki and, well, Kisame. A month since the world was destroyed. A month since The great destruction had begun. Newsflash. The world is not like normal. The trees are dead and broken and burned. The ground is gray and hollow and barren. And any grass and life that does grow is usually a pale gray and black imitation of life itself, slowly withering away into nothingness. Now, where now, where the Leaf Village once was is now just a ginormous crater. Above the crater, however, is a very large, floating, pristine white palace. Those who have survived the devastation of the Earth and of the planet call it the Temple of the Kitsune, and the Kitsune Temple. This temple is occupied by 4 10-tailed kitsune. Yes, like I said, month-long time skip. Obviously, they all have 10 tails now. And mind you, 10 is not their power limiter. They can literally reach up all the way to whatever random number you could think of. But yeah, anywho. It was terrible. The Earth was nearly destroyed, and it's actually destroying itself. The temple which floats above, is the temple of the 4 terrifying kitsune, and their leader, the goddess of the moon. The kitsune have been known as the 4 corners, or the 4 winds, or the 4 elements of absolute destruction. In Christian mythology, they could be considered the 4 horsemen. Narutami was considered the coldest of all the winds. The northern wind, the north, and the horsemen of death, as well as the element of air. Sasura, on the other hand, was the element of, and was fire, the burning destruction. The horsemen of war, and the southern wind, or the south. Hinata, the east, also the element of water, and the horsemen of, pestilence. As for Akari, she was the horseman of greed. Now, for her horseman and name is a bit symbolic, as originally she wanted only one sister, Narutami, and then got greedy, wanting more. Sorry, it's not greed, it's famine. Sorry, famine. I mixed up sins and, horsemen for a moment there. Anywho. The 4 were the most terrifyingly powerful warriors the Earth had ever seen. Now, normally a single 10-tailed kitsune is capable of destroying an entire solar system within a week. However, four four kitsune were able to run the planet dry of life in a single month. As well, for a single kitsune, it would take them 2 months to, well, wring the planet dry, instead of just simply destroying it. Anywho, now, there are two survivors, and there are two of the survivors. Hold on. Sorry about that. Now, with most survivors on the Earth, they were basically servants and slaves to the 5 higher beings. Little did they know that their planet would self-destruct in less than a week. And the 5 were preparing to leave. However, they were searching the Earth for something. They were searching the planet for something rare. For 2 people who, by coincidence, had just made their way to the floating temple. Using the body flicker using the body flicker, the 2 were able to basically teleport their way all the way up to the temple. Their mission was simple. Their mission, well, it was quite simple. Rush in, and quietly don't be seen, and defeat the 4, or kitsune, as they didn't know of Kaguya's existence. As well, she preferred being out of the spotlight a lot. And so, the 2 walked in, Itachi Uchiha and Menma Uchiha Uzumaki. When they walked in, they saw that the palace was much larger on the inside than on the outside. Of course, it was expected. The kitsune appeared to already be able to control all things such as matter and space. So, obviously, they'd be able to create quantum disruptions such as this. A temple that is infinitely bigger, and that is really much bigger than it is on the outside. Anywho, Itachi and Menma would walk behind what appeared to be giant pillars or columns in the room to try and get a sneak attack on one of the kitsune. There was a kitsune in the garden, as they called it. The garden was a part of the temple, surrounded in columns and white flowers, and white, black, purple, blue, white, black, purple, blue, and yellow flowers. Each flower stood for one of the kitsune. But enough about descriptions. The 2 walked in and saw, of course. Sorry, I did a few design changes. So yeah. Anywho, they saw Sasura, in the garden, meditating, relaxing, doing breathing stuff. Anywho, she was breathing and meditating when suddenly Itachi not accidentally, Itachi blinked. While it might seem like nothing to anyone else, the kitsune had extremely great hearing. So great that in fact they could hear the fluttering of the eyelashes moving up and down. So, just by simply blinking, Sasura heard someone in the room. She could even hear and feel their heartbeat. As she would then think, and as she would then say, "Who goes there? I know you're an intruder. Everyone, I know you're an intruder, so show yourself." Itachi and Menma would then body flicker over behind another column. As she would then say, "I know you're there." As she would then think, if it's Itachi or someone unintelligent, then they might care for this little tidbit of information. As she would then say, "Fun fact, did you know I have the best hearing out of the 4 of us? In fact, my hearing is so great, I can even discern I can even tell the movement of someone's blood flow and the pressure of someone's heartbeat from another person's." Meaning, if I've heard your blood flow and heartbeat once, I can most definitely discern who you are again. And she'd then say, "Isn't that right, Itachi?" As we then hear someone say, "Tasoka blade," as what appears to be a red or orange blade made of flame slashes at Sasura. However, she uses her bare hand and grabs the blade, and she then breaks it in half. And she then says, "Is that all?" As we then hear Amaterasu. However, with her bare hand, she grabs the flame and simply swallows it whole. A mind-bogglingly terrifying skill. She literally just ate with her mouth. She literally just picked up and ate Amaterasu, a black flame that grows intensely hotter and hotter and doesn't go out until its target is completely burned. I might be thinking, did she burn alive from the inside out? No. Her mouth, the liquids within her mouth were so cold that in comparison, they could actually burn. In fact, due to such low temperature, or coming from just her mouth alone, the Amaterasu was put out. Another mind-bogglingly impossible feat, as Itachi would appear out of nowhere and would begin doing taijutsu, trying his best to at least buy Menma some time. However, it was for nothing, as 4 tails then, as 2 tails then wrap around his left leg, as 2 tails wrap around his right. 2 tails wrap around his left arm, and 2 tails wrap around his right arm. as another to wrap around his chest, as he is then lifted up, and as he is then pulled right in front of Sasura, as she then says, Itachi Uchiha. You are quite a exquisite specimen now, aren't you? As Itachi would then say, let me go, you she-beast. As she'd then say, ouch, that almost hurt. Kidding. As she would then slam Itachi into the ground, creating a large one. Sorry about that. Spam calls, am I right? As she would then create a large shock, and as by slamming Itachi onto the ground, it would create a large shockwave cracking in the floor. As then the cracks would then glow pure white and instantly reverse themselves back to the non-cracked state. And she'd then say, now I know what you're thinking, how the heck did the floor repair itself like that, huh? Well, when you have the five most powerful beings in the world, or then possibly the whole universe, stuck in a single area, there can be rage issues. So we created a temple that can instantly repair itself whenever it's broken. Cool, huh? As she would then say, anyways. As she would then grab Itachi and fling him towards the wall. As she'd then say, now, now, my sisters and I have been watching you and your little friend for quite a while. Well, not watching, looking for you. I guess. You see, inside of both of you lies the souls of two of the most powerful ancient entities ever. Demigods, to be exact. Hamura and Hagoromo. You are their reincarnations. You are Hamura's, and Menma is Hagoromo's. You see, those two are the Sage of Six Paths and his brother. Now, Kaguya is their mother. Kaguya is the fifth being living on this temple. The one that I bet you don't even know of her existence. As she would then say, now prepare to die. Now prepare for a surprise. As she would then begin wrapping her tails around Itachi, as Itachi would then struggle to escape, as he would then see his entire life fading and literally zooming before his own eyes, thinking, this is how I'm gonna die. I'm going to be crushed to death by fluffy foxtails by the being who was once my brother. I'm going to die. I am going to be murdered. However, while he thought he was going to be crushed, something else started happening. As his chakra and blood began to change, as his entire body structure began changing, as he then started screaming in pain, as he'd then say, what are you doing? It hurts. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts, it hurts. Ow! As she'd then say, now, hold on, Uns. On little sis, it'll only take a moment. As Itachi would then realize what's going on, he was being turned into a kitsune, which meant that his memories would be going poof very shortly. As he would then begin blasting fireball jutsus along with some lightning jutsus that he knew to try and get out, but nothing was working. As she would then say, "You trying to escape? Huh, fool." A 10-tailed, not with each time a fox, kitsune grows a tail, their other tails, including the new one, become 100 times more durable. This means that my tails are 1,000 times more durable than that of a normal foxtail. And I've also grown accustomed to all chakra-based attacks, meaning that no fire, or lightning attacks can harm me, and no blades can pierce my fur as well. She'd then say, "Now just accept your fate." As the last thing Itachi would see was the light being blocked away from him forever, as 10 extremely fluffy black and gray foxtails were wrapping around his body, encasing him in cold darkness. As we go to Menma, who got lost, of course. He got lost while trying to escape. And while trying to not escape, trying to find a way to pounce at Sasura while not being spotted. However, he fell down a trapdoor, leading him into the room of one of the most terrifying of the four, or kitsune, Narutami herself. The wind and death, the northern wind, the element of air, and, well, the horsemen of death. The most terrifying of the four, and the most brutal and merciless, as well as the most powerful. She would then stare, and as we see Menma fall down into what appears to be some sort of dungeon or room, as we see a shadow moving behind what appears to be giant pillars in the room. As he would then see yellow foxtails whooshing around and then disappearing, as it seemed as if she was teleporting from pillar to pillar, trying to confuse him. As she'd then say, "Menma Uzumaki, Uchiha Uzumaki, how long I have waited. Hated to see you." Human. It's so disgusting, isn't it? You know, I'm one of the only ones who actually remembers what it was once like to be human. Now you're probably thinking, what? Wait, huh? As if you're thinking I got my memories erased, you'd be right. I got my entire old personality and memories and soul basically ripped out and put through a frickin' meat grinder and then put back in. However, over time, well, by becoming the strongest of the four, as well as, well, the most deadly, I had achieved a perfect balance within myself. of both my soul and my body, and I gained access to the horrid memories that I had once long ago. You were my brother. You know, family is supposed to stick with each other forever and ever. However, while I was being beaten, hated, and scolded by millions, and by hundreds, maybe even thousands of villagers a day, you ignored me and my existence. Same with Mom and Dad. Well, don't worry about Mom. She's right here with us. Isn't that right? As she'd then and lift up a part of her kimono, revealing on her right rib there was a symbol of a red and of a blood red fox. And she'd then say, "Don't worry, she's right here with us." Her soul, sorry. Now, I have been dreaming. Hey Nick. Hold on. Sorry about that. Where were we? I get. As Narutami would then say, now, I have waited for this day for so long. I've dreamt of this moment, and but I've never got to the conclusion of what do I do with you when I have you? After all, I already have our mother. But now I have you. And what do I do with you? I wonder, and I wonder, and I wonder. And I've thought and stared and stared and stared and thought for so very long. And then I finally got it. I'm going to give myself the happy ending I deserve. I'm going to give myself a sweet, loving sister that I deserve. I am going to give myself the love that I deserve and the love that was taken from me by you. And she didn't say, now, hold still. Unless you want to break your arm break something during the process, I'd stay still. As she would then be, and as at light speed, her tails would begin swirling around Menma. As she then say, now don't be shy. It's only a nice, quick process. Nearly painless. Although, remember what I said earlier? How it's like having your soul all ripped out of your body and then blended through a meat grinder and then placed back in there? Well, that's what's going to happen to you. Only this time, it won't just be your soul, as I've perfected my methods of kitsunification. This time, I'm going to plunge your entire existence out of your body, and then I'm going to make sure that no one in the entire universe ever even knows of the name Menma Uchiha Uzumaki, or even the Uzumaki clan. For a matter of fact, I'm going to make sure that no one, not even the other, or Kitsune and Mistress Aguya herself, even know you existed. And it will seem as if you've existed for the same time as me, which everyone will think that was forever. So, hold still, as Menma would then be try screaming and using every jutsu, summon, and skill he knew. Of course, nothing would work. I should then say it's pointless. The longer everything you do just prolongs the inevitable. Don't be an idiot, Menma. Join the winning side, and we'll leave this pointless world to its fate. As Menma would then look at his sister and would then look at what once was Naruto in confusion, as she'd then say, "Oh, didn't I tell you?" Oh, it appears I haven't. This planet has been drained of nearly all of its natural life chakra. And I'm not just talking about the plants, the trees, the animals, and the humans. No, I'm talking about the planet itself, its very core. You see, a core is like a heart in a way. It beats, it allows blood to regulate through the body. And this planet, well, it's dying. It's dying quickly. Within less than a week, this planet itself will collapse in on itself and explode. As we have already consumed nearly every single drop of chakra and life from this world's core. And once it stops beating, that will be the end. Poof. Bye-bye Earth. Bye-bye planet. And we'll be long gone in some other universe, conquering that planet and doing the same exact thing. As she didn't say, now, like I said, don't be a fool. Give in. And close your eyes and dream. Dream dream of happier times, and a better life that you could have had, while I slowly erase you from existence and replace you with a nice, loving, immortal kitsune sister. An hour passes. The kitsunification is finally complete. As we go to Sasura, as she finally unlatches her 10 tails, revealing a beautiful 5-tailed kitsune. Sorry, not 5-tailed. A beautiful 9-tailed kitsune. She is white, due to her soul being part of Hamura's. As she'd been saying, aren't you just the prettiest little kitsune? And what an adorable little sister. As she'd been saying, now, come on, get ready. As she'd then say, come on, Itacha, aren't you ready? As she'd then say, yes, sis. And from that day on, Itacha was born, no longer the human Itachi, simply the kitsune, a Itacha, one of the soon-to-be 7 most terrifying beings in the universe. As we go to Narutami and Menma, as we see Narutami finally unlock all 10 of her tails. revealing what appears to be an extremely fluffy white kitsune, as we see a 10-tailed white kitsune with orange eyes and long flowing hair. As she then says, "Oh, hey, 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 Memori, how you doing?" As Menma, now known as Memori, would then say, or memory. Yes, it's actually a play on words and the character's development because, well, Menma is nothing more than a memory in only the mind of Narutami, as to everyone else, memory or memory is the only thing that existed, and Menma didn't. So it's really quite genius. Anywho, and she then says, "Sorry, sis, I had a weird dream. I had a dream of an entire world made of purple flowers. Weird, huh?" And she then say, "That is indeed weird. Now get up. Mistress Kaguya and the others will be seeing us." I should then say, "Radio." As the two would then walk to Kaguya's room, or the part, or the center of the temple. As we skip 4 days, over half a week, the planet is done for. They can now see, even the people on Earth can see it, and on the planet can see it. There are giant cracks forming even underwater, and from said cracks are giant bulges of dark, destructive, glowing lava gushing from the planet, as the lava is slowly then turned into chakra and drained away into the sky by the now 7 supreme beings. A truly terrifying sight. Once the planet is fully drained of everything it has, the 7 leave, as the temple seemingly acts as if it's a spaceship, turning into some sort of star destroyer with a temple on the top. As the temple on the top then begins shielding itself, turning into basically a bridge of the ship. As it then flies away, and in the middle of the sky, and in the middle of space, appears, well, a black hole, seemingly destroying everything in its path. So they decide, if this universe is done for due to all these black holes popping up, as it wasn't just one black hole, it was trillions, billions, somewhat instantly spawning and devouring everything, as if the whole universe was being cleaned out. The 2 then went back and the 7 then went back to your planet, and went back to the planet or Earth. As the entire temple / spaceship then turned itself into a cube. Yes, a seemingly, no, not cube, a ring. A ring that seemingly went around Narutami's pointer finger on her right hand. As Kaguya and the others, and as Narutami and Kaguya, along with a few of the other stronger ones, would then create a portal just by drawing in the air. It's this exact portal. As she then said, alright, alright, this portal will bring us to another universe. One that isn't being eradicated by black holes. As the seven would then leave to another universe. As we go to the other world, it's a bright day in Japan, Musatafu to be exact. Izuku Midoriya has woken up and has awoken. Time to get to class. He leaves the dorms and walks over to class 1A, preparing to start another day of schooling, when suddenly he notices something strange. While staring at the outside of the window, like a protagonist, he sees, well, a giant rainbow circle appear. It's surrounded by all sorts of lightning and electricity, as then what appears to be the seven people falls from the portal. As then it seems as if the universe stops, like all time is stopped. And within a blink of an eye, Izuku Midoriya sees the classroom as empty. Well, not empty. He sees his teacher is telling everyone to move as security has been breached. Everyone is rushing as Izuku trips on his shoe. As while trying to run away, he's then grabbed by something extremely fluffy. As he then looks and sees a girl with a fox quirk, and with a kitsune or fox quirk grabbing him with tails. As she then says, "Sisters, look what I found." As then, and a girl with yellow hair and 10 yellow fox tails, along with black and yellow fox ears and whiskers and red slit eyes, appears. And she then says, "Ooh, this is a cutie. What do you want to do with him, sis?" And she then says, well, his body is less than ideal. But, let's see. As she would then, and as the strange girl with white hair and orange eyes, would then begin doing something strange. As a strange symbol would appear on her right palm, as it would then stretch across the rest of her right arm. The symbol would then glow a pure or blinding white, as it would then begin draining a sort of green essence from Izuku, as he could see it floating right into her palm, as she would then say, "Ooh, he's powerful, with great potential." Aw. Looks like he has had a bit of a rough day. As she would then begin going further into his memories, as she'd begin crying, as she'd then say, "That's terrible. Oh, that's awful." As she'd begin sniffling and crying, as she'd then say, "Narutami, he's had such a terrible life." As she'd then say, "I looked into his soul and saw what he was capable of, and then I looked into his memories and, It's so awful. This world has treated him so unfairly, so brutally. As she would then show Narutami the memories. As Narutami would then somewhat link and would somewhat click with the boy. As she'd then say, bring him with us. I'll decide what to do with him. As while the boy was not any sort of seal or Shinchuriki, he was definitely a pariah in this world, as unlike the original MHA world, he is the only person without a power. He's born hated by everyone, seen as a freak and a monster, for being the only normal person in a world where being not normal is normal. He's told to kill himself multiple times and even tried doing so. When he almost dies in battle, he tried to kill himself. It was only thanks to All Might, after telling him that his dreams were basically worthless, that he was even alive. As after literally telling the kid his dreams were worthless and he should give up, All Might gave him his power. And this stung. No, it struck like a chord at the back of Narutami's head, as she would then give a terrifyingly demonic smile, as then would change into a small frown. And then she would give, for the first time in quite a while, a genuinely kind smile, as she'd then say, "Hey, we're going to have a third sister. We're going to have another sister. Bring Izuku here with us." As Memori would then say, "Got it." As she'd then say, "Sorry about this." As her arm would then glow almost blinding white with a faint purple. With a faint tint of purple. As then some sort of blinding white but faint tint of purple dust would then sprinkle out of her hand, as the dust would simply turn into mist and splash all over Deku, making him unconscious. Now you're probably wondering, what the hell are Memori's powers? Well, allow me to explain. Every kitsune has a different ability. You see, Sasura is able to make her tails to the point where they are basically extendable blades, and extendable indestructible blades, and that can have elements attached to them. As Narutami's ability is basically existence overwrite. That's broken as hell. Memori's ability allows her to do one of 10 things for each of her tails. As when she was turned, she had 10 tails, meaning that she, just like her sister, had a lot of potential. Although, due to her already being at her prime, all of her potential was already maxed out. She's only slightly weaker than her sister, but still weaker. Her abilities allow her to do, basically 10 different things, 2 of which are the ability to see into someone's soul and memories, and the other is the ability to create a sort of mist-like dust and a dust-like mist, which can make someone basically fall asleep. As Narutami would then use two of her tails to wrap around Izuku and carry him with her on her back. And she then say, next, or for, and as she would then say, meet me at Mistress Kaguya. Meet me with the others. As she would then whisper to Izuku, even though he was unconscious, if all goes according to plan, my next victim your first meal is going to be that bastard Katsuki Bakugo. As she then give a kind, but at the same time, I'm sadistic smile. And that's where I'm ending this part off. I hope you all have enjoyed part 6 of What If Naruto Was Turned Into a Female Kitsune? I hope you all have enjoyed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and tell me what do you think of the recent twists and turns that this story has had. And without any further ado, goodbye, like, share, comment, subscribe, and, skadoshu.